OJT, Chief Electrician Modular Training. Here is a brief description, a recap of the job roles and duties and responsibilities for a Chief Electrician. It's gauged to the rig-specific drilling for oil and gas industry. So let's check on his duties. OJT Modular Training, Chief Electrician, Task List Description. A Chief Electrician daily routine involves a lot of almost daily checkup on the VFD room. He uses different multimeters, voltmeters, ammeters to check the gauges and the different instrumentations inside that particular room, because this is the room where he can control the amount of power transmitted all the way to the rig for the rig to operate. He does visual inspection of the different gauges again and the parameters. He checks that everything is working fine. So this is amongst his core responsibilities that he undertakes on a daily basis. A chief electrician is also involved in the isolation, whether it is long-term or short-term, so he has to have a thorough, a complete knowledge to identify, to recognize the different equipment that need long-term or short-term isolation. And of course this has to be in tandem. He has to work in tandem with the chief mechanic, because sometimes the different units of the rig drilling equipment involves a mechanical part and an electrical part, such as the agitators in the mud system. So he has to liaise, to coordinate with the different positions to ensure smooth operations and the safety of equipment as well as the safety of others. As for the drilling operations, a chief electrician has to be full aware of the current ongoing operations, because that will influence the amount of power generated to the rig. You know, the drilling crew sometimes drill at different sections, at different formations, and therefore the driller might require more voltage or less voltage based on how deep he is drilling. And therefore a key role, the chief electrician has to play a key role in supplying how many generators or engine room generators has to operate during different sections in the drilling process. So this is what's meant by a number of generators. Availability of equipment, PM task. He has to do what's called the preventive maintenance. You know, that routine day-to-day basis regarding the different checkups on the equipment. So it normally takes about an hour for him to do all of the checks across the rig different areas, from rig floor, the mud system, the VDF, at the mud pump area. He does that almost on a daily or a weekly basis. So again, daily, weekly, and monthly inspection. He has to do that visual inspection. Regarding the ground resistance test, he does check on those, for example, the tower lights, whether they are grounded, to ensure the safety of himself as well as the safety of the equipment. He engages, he undertakes the emergency generator room checks. So So he goes onto the engine rooms and he checks all of the different engines out there. A chief electrician also visits the galley, the kitchen, and he does ensure that all of the cooking equipment, the cooking ware, the induction, the equipment for the cooking are functioning normally. So the galley is involved with the chief electrician. A chief electrician also has to ensure the comfort of the different crew members residing or staying in the accommodation. So amongst the daily checks, he checks the smoke detectors. He checks if the AC units are functioning. So this is part of his undertakings. Critical spare parts availability. So that means these are just examples of the essential must-have spare parts have to be provided for those essential parts, like batteries, like joystick, like sensors. These essential parts are must-have in the rig because without them the rig might go shut down or a downtime. So a chief electrician on his system, I think it's called SAP, he has to check whether there is a spare part in case these spare parts or essential parts do not work, are not working. So that system SAP will usually alerts him with the due equipment maintenance for these specific parts. Again, we've already highlighted that the SAP system is a time-based alert or reminder for the chief electricians to follow up with these parts because without them the rig might lose time during operation. As for the rig move, the chief electrician is heavily involved in checking the top drive system because the top drive, once the top drive system is rigged down, then that would be the most convenient time for the chief electricians to check up on the whole top drive system. That will be very convenient during the rig move because once the rig is rigged up, then it would be hard for the chief electricians to dismantle that essential part for service or for maintenance. A chief electrician checks up on the draw works. This is one of the essential hoisting systems. Therefore, the chief electricians goes up to the rig floor to ensure this unit is working hassle-free, problem-free, hazard-free. And also, as we mentioned earlier, he goes on a daily basis to the VFD room to ensure all of the instrumentations are functioning and nothing goes wrong. And during the rig move, of course, the chief electrician has to ensure he has enough manpower to support him, to lend a hand to him with regard to the move of the materials across the whole rig. This is the end of the chief electrician brief description, and I hope that helps. Thank you.